Hi all, greetings from South Sudan. It's been so long since I've seen and talked to many of you. I'm Laura, and I used to be the Restorative Practices in Schools Program Manager. I worked at LCJP from 2010 to July of 2014, so quite a few years, and I'm sure that there are a number of people in the room that I am sending my greetings and love to. I'm so happy to be able to chat with you a little bit and give you an update about what I've been up to since I left LCJP, because of course restorative practices still continue to be an important force in my life. So immediately after LCJP, I started working as the Senior Program Manager for Exponential Education, which is a small education NGO that works in Ghana. And what it does basically is it identifies students that are kind of brilliant but needy in senior high school and trains them to be tutors and peer mentors for junior high school students that are at risk of not being able to pass their junior high school exit exams. And so one of my contributions in that area was to bring games and activity-based learning and leadership development to the program for the tutors as well as for the junior high school students. Since then since I guess February of 2016, I've been working in South Sudan, the world's newest country, as a child protection and emergency specialist. And mostly what I do is focus on what are the concerns, the risks, and protective factors for children within this ongoing conflict. So restorative practices in this context is a bit challenging. It's a case of ongoing warfare, and so it raises the questions about like how can you use restorative practices and restorative principles in the midst of ongoing harm, and when there may not be any sort of accountability for perpetrators and may not be any sort of desire or ability to take responsibility or break from the fighting or ability to gather people in groups. And so a lot of the restorative work has to be done on a much smaller scale. So I would say in general, restorative practice has the ability to grow here in South Sudan, but it's not something that's currently being utilized on the political front. The ways that I am utilizing restorative practice is nothing like Haley and Lindsey, sadly. They're doing fantastic work, but we, in our child-friendly spaces, we're focusing a lot on social cohesion and trying to identify what are the principles that these children want to live by within their community. And so, yes, even after all of these years, I'm still reminding kids to live by their principles. And I've also brought connection circle processes amongst the staff and the teams, and sometimes even into our trainings, which is great. People are really responding well, of course, to that type of restorative practice, and that connection, that growth, and the ability to establish trust and rapport very quickly within a group. And then also I'm the current chair of the Staff Welfare Committee, and so one of the things that I'm focusing on is increasing a critical incident debriefing and being able to support staff through difficult circumstances, whether that's compound break-ins or conflict erupting or evacuation and relocation, depending on whatever the critical incident is, identifying issues of harm and repair within that and trying to incorporate that into our automatic response for this context. So I miss all of you at LCJP. I think very fondly of Colorado, of my family there, of my kids, of course, and of the programming and volunteers that are the heart of LCJP and restorative practices in Colorado, in Longmont in Colorado, and in the world. So know that we're connected across many miles.
Hi everyone! Hello! I'm Haley. I used to work in the CRJ office.
And I'm Lindsay, and I also used to work in CRJ.
And now we both work in New Zealand. I came over on a Fulbright in 2015, and Lindsay followed the next year, and now we work together in another tiny office all together.
But this one has a window.
Woohoo! Windows!
But we miss you all so much.
So much. We tell everyone all about how LCJP is the best restorative justice organization in the country.
And the world.
And the world.
Yes.
And so now everyone in New Zealand knows that.
Yes. I'm working on a PhD right now in restorative justice, looking at how restorative justice is like a ritual and how that improves the effectiveness of the process. And then Haley does a million things.
I do a million things. Lindsay does some of those million things with me.
Some of them.
But
Yeah.
I work here. This university and this building just behind us. This is the old government buildings, historic government buildings. Second largest wooden building in the world, largest in the Southern Hemisphere. Very impressive. Is where the Diana Unwin Chair in Restorative Justice is housed. At the university here, Victoria University of Wellington. And so I work on a bunch of different projects to support the initiatives of the chair, including we're writing a big online program for edX.org, which you'll be able to see in January, which I'm excited about. We also do a whole bunch of stuff at the university with handling cases and helping different groups of staff to become restorative organizations. We just started an elder harm and neglect pilot, which is pretty cool. All sorts of stuff.
Yeah, lots of good stuff. One thing that's really interesting is, especially with the work we're doing with university students, we are using restorative justice for misconduct, but also not many people were using circle processes here. So being able to bring connection circle skills from LCJP to teach the RAs to do with their residents, or other university staff to do within staff groups, everyone has really liked the circle material that we've brought, and so that's been a really cool thing to get to transport to this part of the world.
Totally. What else did they love from LCJP from Connection Circles?
This guy. This is a special hello to RJD2. And along with this, I would just say all of the silliness that we bring to trainings and games and making people laugh, which is all from our LCJP time.
And this video, I guess.
So we miss you all.
Miss you all tons. Come visit us.
Yes, come visit us anytime. It's this sunny every day.
Except not, really,
not,
most
but-
days. That's why Lindsay doesn't even own any sunglasses.
Yeah, this is a problem. But anytime you want to come visit, we would love that.
Please.
All right.
Miss you guys.
Bye.
Bye.